washed up. It's fuzzy. I woke up like this. She thinks. I woke up like this. Flawless. Ladies, tell them.
Hey, how y'all doing today? It's Uneak Tershai, your entrepreneur bae, coming at y'all with another video. So today I wanted to come and share with y'all 5 mistakes that I made starting a business. If y'all are new business owners or looking to start a business, this video is for you. I am the co-founder of synergyofessence.com. You can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy at Synergy of Essence. We are an online retailer for the soul, initially launching with satin bonnets as well as hair accessories. If those are products that you can see yourself getting into, then come check us out. Okay, y'all, so let's get into it. These mistakes are in no specific order. The first mistake that I made was with my shipping. So this was my first business as to where I was shipping a physical product, so I didn't have much prior knowledge as to how it worked. I trusted that my website integration system would take care of it for me and everything would be okay. So I basically selected rates through Shopify. That is the e-commerce platform that I use for my website, and I just let Shopify choose the rates for me. What I didn't know was the fact that we were shipping through priority mail and not standard would adjust the price. What my customers pay on launch day for their shipping was not what it actually cost me to get the items to them, being that I did choose priority mail mailers. So I end up losing money off of my net profits due to the fact that the amount that it cost me to ship my items to the customers is not what my first customers paid on their order. Along with the shipping, I do signature confirmation with all of my orders just for added security measures, as well as to limit the likelihood of chargebacks through my website. Signature confirmation is not free. It is an added cost that you will put on top of the shipping. I didn't factor in shipping or the signature confirmation amount that it would cost to send to my customers prior to launching my business. So I end up coming out of pocket a great deal on each of the orders for shipping costs. For me to ship, it was initially way more expensive because I did choose the priority mail route. I felt as if I was getting a good deal through the priority mailers, but when it all came down to it, going the priority route, it was more expensive for me in the beginning just because the rates that were set within my Shopify was not set for priority. It was set for standard shipping. However, I didn't have standard mailers to be able to ship my customers their things. Also, I didn't practice shipping prior to my launch day. So when I got my first order, I was practicing doing shipping on my very first order. I didn't have my shipping printer set up. There was no organization. I didn't have a system in place. Nothing was planned out beforehand. I just launched, and when stuff started to come in, I started to sort through what it took to ship packages. Thankfully now I have a better system in place and things are more organized, but initially, you guys, I failed in the shipping department. It was not good. My first mistake in business was shipping. The second mistake that I made with starting my business was the website problems. I managed to create my website using a theme within my e-commerce platform of Shopify, and I basically plugged in everything that I wanted to be on the site. If y'all have never created a website before, it is a very tedious process and you have to have a lot of patience. Before launching, I did run into lots of website problems. So when I was making my pages, I didn't type my content into a separate account. I typed directly into the website. One thing that ended up happening was a lot of my information that I typed got lost because I typed it directly onto the website and I didn't have it backed up on another type of document, whether on my computer, Google Docs, the notes section on my phone, or something like that. I end up losing about 2.5 hours of work that I did on a FAQ page because it got deleted somehow, and it duplicated my FAQ page as a policy page, and I basically had 2 policy pages and no FAQ page at all. There's no way for Shopify to be able to access that information back that was on the previous version after you saved it. So my recommendation would always to be type all of your content somewhere else and then copy and paste it onto your website. So if the happening does occur for you, that somehow information gets deleted or something gets duplicated, something is where it's not supposed to be, then you will have that security in your document to just copy and paste and make it right. Another thing that I messed up on is coding. So I know how to build websites, but I do not know how to code. I really want a slideshow at the very top of my homepage. I got a code from the Shopify community and I pasted it into my website, and it ended up putting an error in my code. So every time that we went to the website, it will pop up with that error. No matter how I changed the code to try to rectify it, I deleted the initial thing that I changed. Somehow the code was still ruined on the site. So what I ended up having to do was create my website all over again from scratch. The website was no longer functional. I basically created the website for my business 2 times, and it was so fun. I set up a Google email for my business initially, and when I set the Google email up, I made the birthday the day that I established my LLC for my website. Being that I set the birthday for the day that I established my business, it basically made me a minor. As a minor with the Google account, you do not have access to all of the services that Google provides. Everything that I did on that account, I basically had to get permission from another Google account to do whatever it was that I wanted to do. The gag about that is the account that it linked for the parent of that site was an old account that I had before. It's not even an account that I use anymore, and I'm assuming that my phone number was linked to that account, and that's how it made it the parent. And then when I tried to add like other family members within it, there was still not as much permissions that was outside of what the parent could grant the child on the thing. Do not set y'all business emails. If y'all plan to make one through Google, do not set it as the day that you established your business. Also makes it more complicated when the account is under 13. That was a big headache for me, and I have a slight case of OCD. The fact that I couldn't have Synergy of Essence, it made me really sad, and I ended up deleting the account, and now Synergy of Essence at Gmail can no longer exist because of the simple fact that I ruined it initially by making the birthday for the account the day that I established my business. I feel like your name at your website.com is way more professional, so I just set up in the back end forwarding capabilities so that it can be listed as unique at synergyofessence.com. You can add up to 100 forwarded emails. However, mine always fails when I try to add another one outside of unique at Synergy of Essence. So that's something that I'll have to try to figure out. But for now, unique at synergyofessence.com works for us. It makes your business way more reputable and professional when you establish the contact email in that way. As soon as I figure out the whole forwarding thing, you guys, in this era that I'm getting, I will definitely let y'all know what's tea on adding multiple within one email account. One of the other things about setting that birthday wrong was the fact that we couldn't establish a domain through Google Domains. I created my domain through Google Domains. I didn't create it through Shopify. I made it through Google Domains first, and then I did a transfer to Shopify. I think I found that it was a little more affordable, but domains don't cost that much money anyway. So if you are starting out a business, I would definitely say go ahead and buy a domain because it's not that expensive. You can get it for as low as $1 a month, and it just makes your website way more trustworthy and way more reputable. I have only purchased from sites that say My Wix site, Big Cartel, My Shopify, blah blah blah. I've only purchased from sites like that one time. I have made hundreds of online purchases from businesses and websites, and I can definitely tell you I trust the ones with their own business domain way more than I trust the ones that are at whatever platform that the person is hosting their site on. I take people way more seriously when they invest in a domain. That's just my personal preference, but it's totally up to you. So being that I sell bonnets, hairbands, and all that stuff like that, in the beginning stages when I was researching vendors, I was having a hard time trusting to send my money to a vendor that I never used before. I honestly didn't want to have any business losses. I didn't want to make any mistakes, and I wanted everything to go perfectly for me. So the fourth mistake that I made in business was buying vendors from other entrepreneurs and business owners, companies that I really didn't know on a personal level. And basically the quality of the vendor that the person provided to me was not up to par with the quality of what I wanted to sell in my store. So I've lost money buying vendors from people whose quality is not in alignment with the quality of what it was that I was trying to sell on my website. Basically, the vendor that was sold to me was very subpar, and I could have found it myself. I would say that one of the vendors that we do use for our items was a vendor that we purchased. We are happy with it. I purchased it from another YouTuber who's also a lifestyle type entrepreneur vlogger. I was able to see her products and the things that she sold. I was able to see them in her shipping packages, and she explained like the qualities that she liked about the vendor. I love the fact that she was very responsive to me via DM when I was buying a vendor from her. And to be honest, I paid more for that vendor that I got from her than the initial one. I always say you get exactly what it is that you pay for, and I'm just happy that we were able to find the vendors for the bonnets, and they end up being really good quality and everything like that. Some of our other products I was able to find on my own, and luckily I haven't got scammed or anything like that, but I know exactly what it is that I'm looking for when searching for a vendor. One of the vendors that we did purchase was just not up to par with the quality of what it is that I wanted to present for my brand and my business. The fifth and final mistake that I made when starting my business was not hiring a photographer. So I know y'all know that I am a YouTuber, but what I explained on one of my entrepreneur vlogs is videography and photography are two totally different things. I can make amazing videos, amazing video content, but pictures is not my strong suit. Hence why my Instagram account looks the way that it does. Once I progress in the industry, I'm definitely gonna have to have a set photographer because I don't take pictures well. And so that is reflective of the pictures that I took for my business. Honestly, before starting my business, I didn't have a working phone, and I didn't have a working phone with a camera. We all know that we can do all of this stuff with our phones and with the camera on our phone, but the phone that I had been through a lot. The camera was broken. It was low on space. Even though I had over 200 gigabytes of capacity on that phone, it was out of space, so I wasn't able to take pictures. I couldn't take pictures because the camera was broke. That's why a phone wasn't a go-to option for me. So the only thing that I had to take my product pictures on was my ring light and my camera. Even though the pictures look very bright on the camera when I take them with my ring light, once I get them to my actual computer, they all came out dark. I'm not a photographer, I'm not a picture person, so I didn't know what settings to use, and I asked around and nobody was able to give me the information that I needed. I watched tons of videos and it still didn't answer the question to my issue about the picture showing light on the camera and the ring light versus when I got them on my computer, they appeared very dark. I'm also not one to edit pictures. I don't edit my pictures for Instagram. I barely use filters. That's just not my MO. I do not enjoy it. I don't enjoy it at all. So the fact that all of those pictures needed editing, it was very frustrating for me. I just felt like it was not my strong suit, and I could have saved a lot of money by just hiring a photographer. Another thing about taking product pictures on my vlogging camera is that it sets the file extension to .cr2. So with the software that I use for like creating my graphics, my business website, and everything like that, they do not accept that file extension specifically. So I would have to take hundreds and hundreds of photos and convert them to PNGs just so that my software that I do my graphics on, as well as my business website, would accept the photos to be uploaded there. That was very time consuming for me. I was running into issues where I didn't have space on my computer. It was a mess. I'm still not at a secure place in my heart about the product pictures for my website, because of the simple fact that I do not feel like those pictures are website ready. I could be just being very, very hard on myself, but I had a certain vision in mind as to what I wanted the pictures on my website to look like, and I can honestly say that at this point those pictures do not meet my standards and they are not up to par, and I am eager for the day that I can just do a total revamp of all of my pictures on the website and make them a lot better. Having my phone has been a tremendous help and improvement because of the simple fact that it just makes it way more easier. Whatever the picture is like on my phone is exactly what it shows up as on the computer. I do run into file extension issues with my phone because sometimes my phone does create pictures in a .heic. However, it's not a big deal for me to go ahead and convert those over to PNG, and it just allows me to be able to better see the pictures on my phone and exactly what pictures that I want, and whatever I don't want I just delete. So I'm not having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures on my phone of the same product and I'm having to sift through from the computer. I can only select the ones that I really like and airdrop them to my computer from my phone. If I could do it all over, I would have definitely just forked out the money to hire a photographer for like a couple of hours to take all my product pictures for my website to ensure that the product pictures on my website were website ready. Website ready has been one of my buzzwords, and I know my business partner is probably like, ugh, website ready. There's a certain quality that I feel like it should be on the website, and the fact that my website is not there yet, ugh, it gets on my nerves, y'all. But I'm a new business owner. I'm gonna try to be more compassionate and gentle with myself, knowing that I created my website from scratch with the help of my business partner, and everything is not going to be perfect, and I'm new to this and not true to this yet. Being that I'm just starting out, I can be a little more gentle, and even though my product pictures are not what I personally envision for my website, we are still able to get sales and people are still buying the product even though the pictures don't look the way that I want them to. If I could do it all over again, I would definitely hire a photographer to save myself headache, resources, and lots of time. I probably spent over 20 hours just doing pictures. I'm getting mad all over again. I know that that was a lot to sit through. If you made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate you, babe. Like, oh, you don't understand. It's like you speak my language. We talking the same language. We on the same page. If you are a business owner, list down in the comment section below one mistake that you made when starting your business and what it was that you learned from it. Visit my website, synergyofessence.com. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy at Synergy of Essence. This has been another episode of Uneak Tershai's Entrepreneurship Life. I am Uneak Tershai, your entrepreneur bae, and I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye, baes.
Get in that degree, you're making it cool. Hop off the porch and go get it. I went to pick up the torch and then lit it. They tried to tell me I can't, but I did it. I had to start from the bottom. My mama told me to get 'em, I got 'em.